Okay, Davey Wavy, I just wanted to say, Nirvana inspired me greatly in music. And a lot of the things that were said and the way that it was played, the passion, because I always wanted to be in a band too and go on tour, be a national recording artist really. And can I tell you, I just wanted to be a guitar personality when I was a kid. And why I was an outcast was because I had an identity crisis. I wasn't taught right. See, I choose now to have some seclusion in my life. Actually a large portion of the day, a majority of the time, because I want to focus on life. That means something to me. And right now, I was a student of Joyce Myers and Joel Osteen, and my life ended up by a dumpster. I have limited resources. What I realized, Joyce Myers, is people are not kind. They do not want to assist, help, guide. You did it to yourself mentality is what I get all the time. And so now I'm going to do it my way. I might see you in court. Miss Is it? Is it your real name? In my opinion, a majority of you most likely are no different than anyone else in this world. I was really trying to be a good person. I really wanted to experience life. I couldn't even see my sister's daughter be born. I couldn't have my son at the time through the years in my life because our system's that screwed up. Music is everything to me, and I originally wanted to be a guitar personality. That guitar personality over the years, I was always the doer I want to do, transferred into a songwriter. Early years, and it became. And I'm not like anyone, I'm no different than anyone else. In my opinion, it was something that was above my league because I was comparing myself to other people that I realize today are weak. And if these bands are still going on tour singing the same songs they did 30 years ago, then they have something great that they started, right? But in my opinion, that's a sign of weakness. But keep it for the record. I don't like John Bon Jovi, and I don't want him in the state of Ohio. He's still going to play here, right? Yes, but I don't like him. And if I had my way, I would legally have a PFA drawn against him to keep him miles away from me at all times. And guess what? In my opinion, he'd probably know where I was all the time anyway. What do you think of that? In my opinion, very strongly. See, that's the effect of using somebody's little tiny childhood dream car image as a huge stage prop. It's mentally damaging. Okay, so here's the thing. What I wanted to say is all of this came about, and as I was going through life, I realized I still wanted to do what I wanted to do, and then I found somebody that day who changed my life. He showed me that it can be done with just one person, and I became the greatest. And I had to deal with a lot of challenges because humans are preconditioned. They want to hear what they want to hear because it's what's crammed down their throats for 30 years, John. But if you walked in a room, they'd treat people in general, no matter who, Dave Grohl, anybody, and they don't know who you are and they never heard the song before in their life, they would treat you no different than they would treat somebody else who has talent. That's all it is. So David Grohl, why should you have money in your pocket, get to tour the country over and over again, sing songs, have music on videos done, on television? What makes you more special than anyone else? Well, I'm not saying you think that, but I'm trying to scratch my head. What makes you more special? Because in my opinion, you're not. I heard Kid Rock's song on Facebook had something to do with Memphis in it. Well, guess what? He's a huge rockabilly kind of rock. What kind of music is he? I don't know. He's coming at rap stuff, rap and rock, rap rock. You know, what I've realized is through this electronic harassment that whether it has to do with song titles like Nebraska, for instance. I wrote Nebraska in 2010. The movie Nebraska was not released until when was it? 2013, 2014, somewhere in there? Was it released 2012? Look it up, it's on my website. Whether you're David Grohl, Kid Rock, Eminem, Lady Gaga, Miley Cyrus, Chris Christopherson, Willie Nelson, Toby Keith, Tim McGraw, all of you together, Donald Trump, none of you are worth more than anybody that's in this country. And by the way, I seen that they started doing free concerts over here at Hollywood, was it? Keep doing them for free when you come to our city. Why don't you, when you come to this city, play and give the entire city the money? Because we need it for our streets. We need it for our sidewalks. We need it for our parks. We need it for the education systems. We need it to feed people. And I don't want a rock and roller coming to my city. receiving a paycheck when there's hungry people in my city. I'm one of those hungry people. In my opinion, if I was governor or I was mayor, I'd say, Bon Jovi, none of those people can come here to Dayton, Ohio without putting a cash up front. You gotta pay if you wanna play here. In other words, we ain't paying you for a performance. Pisses me off to hear that these rock and rollers and entertainers and politicians have 6-digit salaries or whatever it is that they have, and meanwhile the other people are just left, screw you. Let me tell you something, I'm here for life, and I don't appreciate. Life is all about choices. And when you have this much freedom, Mr. Trump, you can't make choices that are inside, God-sized. Hey, to McDonald's, there's an idea for you. You have small. Do you have extra small? How about 2 fries? 2 fries for a penny? Instead of penny candy, we can have penny French fries. Get your penny French fries at McDonald's today. You have small, you have medium, you have large. Just give me a bathtub filled with French fries. I wonder what the menu is over at the White House in D.C. You think any of us will ever get to see a menu like that in our lifetime? Why should the politicians get to eat quality food? And who's paying for all that? Donald Trump, are you paying for it? I hope so. It should be coming out of your salary. We shouldn't be paying for your food while you're in. You work what is it, 12-hour day, is it? Do you work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? If you do, you don't have time to dance. It's only 8 years. There's people who work their buns off. And you realize that when you want to do something in your life that's therapeutic to you, that you will work around the clock. It's a have to inside of you. You don't have time to go dancing. You don't have time to go golfing. You try to make time. Now, if I was president, I wouldn't have any time at all. I'd be lucky if I could sleep 2 or 3 hours. Why? Because I'd say, what a mess this country has fallen into. And the taxpayers shouldn't be paying to feed the politicians. And make a note of that, Secretary. I want to know if the Trump family is living off the Americans when it comes to food. We should not cover their expenses for that. They have plenty of money. Go to McDonald's right down the road. What is a cheeseburger in D.C.? And why is it more expensive in D.C. than it is somewhere else? Economical? Is that what that is? What can we do to get our economy up more here in Dayton, Ohio, Donald Trump? I wonder. They're finally starting to work on the bridges. They're finally starting to work on some of the other areas here. They put a care source up. In fact, Donald Trump, instead of building like a care source tower, they put care source buildings in a city. Now, if I would have been the city planner, I would have said, no, care source tower. Why? Because that leaves room for other things. Intelligence. Why have a monopoly board filled, a city filled of care source buildings? By the way, do they have full coverage plan for the city of Dayton? Because we all need health care. We need the best, Donald Trump. See, in Canada, they cover what? They cover what they cover. Everybody has health insurance the day they're born. Well, why don't we? And why should we have limitations on any of that? When it comes to anything to do with the body, mind, and soul, I should be able to eat it. God, when we get into the Holy Bible, Trump, when we get into the Holy Bible, everything should be taken care of. We're here to live life. Are you here to live life, Trump? Don't you think everybody else wants to live life? Donald Trump, do you know what makes America great? When we teach our youth properly about personal identity for starters, and then about heart's desires, and then we introduce to them the Creator, and let them know that's why we're here to begin with. Hey Donald, one of my albums alone, as a songwriter with the right promotion, could be much more than 6 digits. It could also feed and take care of a lot of people that actually want to do something with themselves. See, I want to really do something. Joyce Myers, you ever feel like you really want to do something with yourself? Well, guess what? On my list down here, I want to play different environments. I'm tired of supporting beer. Look, I drink. I don't like beer anymore. I can't. I'll throw up. I ought to sue the beer companies. I used to puke until I would fall and pass out, beer all over my hair from vomiting. Listening to Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone, Tom Kiefer. Amazing song, isn't it? Yes. Screws up a lot of minds, especially when they're drinking. Got anything new to say, Tom? Cinderella have a new album out that kicks butt? Are they going to promote you on the radio? I'm sick of people like you getting by. Say hi to Jeff. Frizzy hair, blonde stripe. Does he still have that? I don't want to play and get the numbers up on the cash register to sell food and beer anymore. Well, in those venues, that's what it's about. I know. Drink up, drink up, drink up, have a good time. Drink up, have a good time. Drink this, but maybe not by this company because we don't know what's in it. Drink water. That's what we naturally need, the purest form of water. but we became adjusted to the jugs. You ever see those little hug jugs? You know, barrels? What is it? What's in there? Colored water with lots of sugar in it. See, much like William is with Cyrus, you know, Miley, I wanted to be a person in my own child's life that I could inspire, encourage in whatever direction they wanted. Not necessarily music and entertainment, whatever. I'm going to be trying to reach out to my son after all these years. I said by the time he's 20, before he's 21, between 18 and 21, because of our fucked up laws in America, Donald Trump, I should make the President of the United States arrange a personal meeting with my son, whether he likes it or not. How about that? Imagine the government arranging a personal flight for you to meet with your son, Tracilyn, whether he likes it or not. He's in government custody. Gives you the opportunity to speak to him. And then if he never wants to talk to you again, then so be it. If that's what he really wants, if he's really mine, Mr. Government, is what I legally should know. But we could do it that day. No lying, the truth. Make sure there's somebody to overlook what's going down, so that way we know there's no smidging, any faultyism here. Because I would like to tell my son that I would love to have a relationship with him, even from a distance. That would excite me after all these years to know that. And I understand, because I'm a psychological genius now. I had to become living in I'm an American. And if you are not a psychological genius, then I'm sorry. Read the Holy Bible once and see why. You gotta have an emotional support group that will not let you go, no matter what happens. Because you are exiting worldly self into your true self. Forget about the spiritual self. The true self. Who you really are. And once you get to be who you really are, you might realize that nobody was ever intended to be in your life, most likely. Until you start making your choices. Now everyone who's around you, they're the ones that are supposed to be in your life. And you appreciate as it happens, Joyce Myers. My appreciation isn't meant for just anybody. Why don't you go out and appreciate a whole bunch of people that wouldn't appreciate you? Why don't you come and appreciate me, Joyce Myers? I'll show you how much I appreciate you. My love is not intended for just anybody, lest they be willing to receive it. Some people don't want to receive the love that you have in your heart. The heart up here in the mind. So, with that being said, let's get this going on. Playing different environment. I came to the final conclusion that what? I, Tracilyn, don't want to play in bars anymore. Look, as a writer, you might see me in bars. Down in Nashville was a great time. I can't wait. I need to go down in Nashville. I want to share my story. I'd like to do it on television, national television. I want to show you where I met this creep that watches me via satellite and how all this weird stuff started happening. Now here's the thing, check this out. You might still see me doing stuff like that by choice, but I'm not going there to sell. Look, if you drink, don't be upset with me. I don't want to encourage you to drink because I know all the wrong it does to us, including myself. I still like white Zinfandel. I still want a glass of champagne once in a while to celebrate. I'm not trying to condemn anybody who drinks. You want to drink up. But God dang it, I don't want to go into a bar room and try to sell drinks. Let Bud Light do that. Let Heineken. Smells like skunk. Why is that? Why does it smell like skunk and not beer? Is it a joke they're playing on us? They think it's funny? Beer should not smell like a skunk. And by the way, I'm going to be shooting, I'm going to be doing a video in Hopseed. It's coming up soon. I'm not looking to purposely use my voice to encourage people to drink, and then all kinds of things happen. That's not what I want my life to be about. I'm here to lift up the spirit in humanity. And as somebody who knows they need the purest of everything. And I'm not going to preach that. I'm not going to say you need the purest of water, you need the purest of food and resources. How about we're going to have a good time tonight? Let go of all of our pains and hurts for if only the hour, or however long I'm going to be there. Celebration of life. How far our country has come since Trump has been in office. We're getting them all laughing. We can remind them that now things are being made right. Rather than drink up, get another beer, get 5 of them. You know, don't forget your shots. They have a special going on. Firewater. I was big into firewater for the longest time. Tastes like cinnamon schnapps, that's all it is. You know, whoop-de-ding-dong, right? You had one cinnamon shots, and you pretty much had them all. Now here's the thing. So I really want to play different venues. And I wanted to clear this up because I already shared the information. I shared the experiences I had with mask. My daddy he was supportive at times. At times I wanted him to be supportive. It didn't come across that way. A lot of my music career I did on my own because I'm driven, not because I don't get along with people. I always invited people to play my shows. I'll pay you if you play my show. You can open up anytime you want, any show. And I had people show up, and I paid them. In other words, just unannounced. Because why? Because I didn't make any contracts with them specifically. In other words, if you want to show up, just like this video project I'm working on, if they really want to do it, call me. I have a contract that just binds a release of that video. But as far as to agreeing to a date and time, at this point, I'm not at that point. I'm not going to do that. Well, now, why wouldn't I do that? Because I'm not doing it as a business. I'm doing it as therapy. I'm in training. Because there's a lot of details that have been left out because I was trusting Joyce Meyer's idea of God way out there. Joel Osteen's God. God has a big plan for your life. Yeah, and it might be to see you in courtroom, Joel. Should I go down to Houston or make you fly up here to Dayton, Ohio? God does have a big plan for my life, Joyce Myers. But it might be to see both of you in court. I want my blessings. The life that's inside my head is what God revealed to me. I would testify that under oath. Now I need the resources and I need the respect with it. I'm gonna need a lot of manpower too. Willing hearts, the best of everything because it's for God. And I want paid for it. In other words, I want all of my cut. That's what they preach in the music industry, right? Get your royalty check. Well, I'm self-published, which means I get that too. And all the live performances, and we can go on and on and on, calculate it up. Right? Because why should I go around doing everything for free? Who else here does everything for free? Who pays for all the gas? Who pays for all the transportation? For the clothing that you want to wear? Not through charitable donations. Not the food people give you. When does Tracilyn Donald Trump get to eat whatever I want off of the menu of life? If I was in DC right now, I'd take the menus away from the table and I'd say, nobody can order here. You got to eat what Tracilyn eats. How about I come to Washington, D.C., and when Trump and his family and everybody else in D.C. sits around the table, I serve you what I have to eat, and other people here in Dayton. Would you be okay with that for one day? Could you spare and humble yourselves? Because I'm sick of people we're declaring are the rich people of the earth. They get to select what they want off the menu every day of their life. I want what I want, Mr. Trump. I want to eat whatever I want to eat when I want to eat it. Am I a bratty child? I could be really bratty. Let me come to the White House and I'll serve you the kind of service I receive. The only kind of service I can give myself because of all the rules, laws, and regulations. And limitations. Just like giving your welfare checks, is that it? The government does not do that. It's not their money. It's for the people. And it's this much freedom, Donald Trump. It's that much freedom. And for somebody who knows and they're intelligent, that's not enough. How about I come to DC and I serve you my food? How about I take you grocery shopping with me? Take the Mrs. Trump and I show her what budget I have to work with, even at Walmart. One thing that makes me sick in the stomach is when a rich person doesn't know how to eat healthy food. Because if I had the right amount of freedom, millions, I alone would eat extremely healthy. Tracilyn going to DC serving slop to the entire government that shows up that day. You all have private jets? Who's paying for all this? Who's paying for all the fuel in the jets? And why do you get such nice cars and buildings to work out of? And then you get into the low income, what do they get? You see, I want Mr. Trump to come to Dayton, Ohio. But this video has to get out and he has to arrange time to do it. Let's face it, I could just give you a list that's eternal. Let's just cut to the chase, Tracilyn. Yeah, Mr. Trump, you're a big shot in New York, right? Woohoo! Mr. Trump, I don't believe you're really a president. I don't believe Mr. Trump is a president at all. I think he's an actor. I think he's a human being, is what I think. And I don't think that anything the government that we see with our eyes says goes. I don't believe that is coming from anything more than electronic communications by the unknown sources of others who are truly simply trying to direct humanity's existence. They failed to make sure that Tracilyn, also known as VCAT, living in Dayton, Ohio, Mr. Trump, in poverty. Thank you, kind government. I'm here, I get one life in this form, and I have to live it with my level of intelligence with limitations? Not in my mind. I should have the best of everything. It's for God, you know. The real God, not a made-up one. I want to play theaters, beautiful venues, family, all age groups. I'm going to need radio promotion, folks, television promotion. I'm going to need a personal RV to my idea of living quarters, because I acknowledge the importance of the details that matter. May need a tour bus for musicians, because I don't want anybody playing with me that doesn't have clearance by Tracilyn, because I don't think that the same people who've been playing for years and years and years, I'm sick of seeing these same guitar players just show up. They get all the promotion they want. Now it's time to promote Tracilyn and my music, live show performances. And when I'm 50, I want to get an exotic photo shoot, I want my own poster with my name on it on an Orange County chopper, built for something very, very special. That Orange County chopper guy, that motorcycle is going to be worth something someday. Well, why not somebody else's motorcycle, Tracilyn? Why has it got to be the Orange County chopper? That's what I want. I don't need to be in a magazine with it. Just a poster on my wall with my name on it. I did it when I was 50. In fact, that's what it should say on it. Tracilyn, that should be my album. I did it when I was 50. Hey, big ads. Tracilyn, woohoo, we're gonna run with this promotion, right? I did it when I was 50. Written all over everybody's shirts. Well, Bon Jovi, there you go. There's an idea for you. Why don't you wear one too? Miley Cyrus, why don't you? Kid Rock? Why doesn't everybody in show business, even that Smashing Pumpkin head guy? Why don't everybody, Lisa, Priscilla, everybody put it on. I did it when I was 50. Donald Trump, your whole family, put it on. I did it when I was 50. Joel Osteen, Joyce Myers, everybody. William put one on the horse's back. The whole band did it when they were 50. That could be a trend around America. The summer, as it came to closure, everyone surrendered to the fact that they did it when they were 50. What did they do? I don't know what they did. Fill in the blank. That's huge. Now give me all the royalties for that idea. That's what you do. It's a ministry fund for Tracilyn, right? Because we want to talk about that then with the government. And I want to talk to Donald Trump. Because let me tell you something, I don't believe that taxpayers should pay taxes. I believe that people should be raised intelligently and want to give to their country. Your tax penalties in this country hurt people. They choke people. And I can't stand paying taxes. And therefore, I should just sue the government for what? Making me pay something I don't want to. I didn't go to work today so I could give it to the government, who gets to select off a menu what they want to eat, and then I got to eat a microwave burrito for 33 cents from Walmart. Chuck that down on their plates. It's half cooked. I didn't have time. By the way, here's your bar of Irish Spring. That's what you use to wash yourself. No rag, no time to do the laundry. Okay, I want to play nice venues, theaters. Is it? Beautiful theaters. Why? Because I appreciate them. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. And because I know I can. But I need a lot of people, and that's up to me. There's a lot of different approaches to it. I need a rehearsal spot. I need equipment. But the government makes it complicated for people who are on assistance. I don't like that government. You make me very disappointed. Shame on all of you. There's a building somewhere in the area. I can use it. There's PA systems floating all over the place. State of the art. Nobody wants to use it. They can't sell it, Tracilyn. It's been sitting in the store floor for the last 3 years. I'll take it. I'm not like other people. I don't have a sense of humor about it right now. I'll be laughing later on because it's silly that it had to come to this. It's all because the people in music industry are selfish. They have lack of the fruits of the spirit, which means they're jealous, they're bitter, they're a whole lot. And somebody like me, guess what, would make, who do you think's the investors of people like Miley Cyrus, Lady Gaga, Madonna for all these years? Are you kidding me? Who are the investors of these people? What makes these people more special than Tracilyn or anyone else? They still sit on a hopper, right? Maybe some of them don't. Maybe they stand to take a dump. And guess what? I don't want to do traditional entertainment. I'm more of a childlike personality. When I'm not angry because of the way that I have to live, because I trusted Christian leadership of our country, I'd like to know whoever calls himself the leader of all the Christian community. I want to talk to you, not the Pope, not the man in the sheet. I'm talking about who's the Christian leader, okay? I want to talk to you. I want to know who you are. God called me, Tracilyn, into a rock and roll ministry, gave me the name Tracilyn and said, you will be famous. There's a great calling on my life. It's been acknowledged. Now, Mr. Christian leader, see to it that I get all the resources necessary to make this a reality. Probably a coward won't show himself, you know? That's usually the way it is. Because they know it's all set up to keep people oppressed in the state of mind. They don't want to get you closer to God, because then you become God-like. And then you realize you don't need leadership on the planet. You're in a leadership relationship with God. And therefore you could walk into DC and you could sit down and say, give me the menu. I'm going to pick something off of this that I want. And they wouldn't like it. They'd have you jailed up. Why? Because that's a sign of weakness. People who are strength would say, well, welcome aboard, Tracilyn. It's about time somebody in the community gets it. They might even have a high chair there for me to slop around on. You're going to have pudding later. Yogurt. Preferably non-dairy. I still like my sweets. Here we go. Check this out. So playing environment is what? I want to play beautiful theaters. And what I was trying to get out is I am angry because if you look around most of America when it comes to dining out or if it comes to playing venues, they're out there. They are out there. And right now, I'm in a challenging spot because of my circumstances. And it's the circumstances that are put there because the poor leadership of our country is not taking hold of the reins that the leaderships from generations before dropped. In other words, they just stopped caring. Well, I care. And I should be able to live a very enjoyable life on a healthy salary because it's freedom. I should be able to eat whatever I want. I shouldn't have to keep going and buying $5 sneakers, okay? How many people here keep going to Walmart and buying $10 sneakers? Why is that? Whatever happened to real good sneakers? Well, it's for the rich people of the earth. Well, if a rich person were here, I'd slap their hands. Get away from it. I want some nice sneakers too. Rich people of the earth. How do you become? What is the mystery? You sure didn't go to your, what, local community school? Most likely. And if you did, then you got intelligent along the way. You might have even dropped out early and said, I'm on to this. School doesn't even teach you about personal identity and sexuality and stuff. Hey, we all like it in the butt, man. Let's be honest. When it's performed properly. Why not? Well, there's one or two people, Tracilyn, say it's not for me. Okay, so it isn't. I want to play beautiful theaters, beautiful venues, and I don't want to be used to promote alcohol. Okay? I'll promote God. I'm here to lift the spirits of humanity. How about I just rock and roll and lift the spirits and wave to people? Because I often said that when I come out on stage, all I got to do is hobble along and wave to people and smile and sing. Why? Because I am a child of the Most High God. I am the result of truth. And once you're not a worldly self anymore, you have a lot more to offer that's very unique. Because most people don't know what truth is when it stands before them. That's what Jesus Christ shows us in Scripture. For the Lord was Lord, and they still didn't believe. Ta-da! It's really me. How you doing? Someday I'm going to do that. And a kid's going to have tears coming down their eyes smiling. Maybe I'll kneel down and wipe it off. Put it in my little lock. Keep it with me. Don't go steal the idea for Miley Cyrus now. Is she going to go do it for us? Because, see, I would say stuff like that, and then later on I'd find out that Miley Cyrus or Lady Gaga, like with the homeless people, I got pictures with homeless people. All of a sudden Lady Gaga's popping up on the screen, getting the hugs with homeless people. Okay. Go help the homeless people, Gaga. Go help. I'm sure you do a lot. And more so than not, more of what gets done in mainstream entertainment is more for the looks of it all. It's to gain what? The attention of the masses. Compassion and all the fruits of the Spirit. They want to receive all the love. People, give me the love. Give me the love. And meanwhile, there's other people, like Stephen, invades my privacy, takes my ideas, and as quickly as he takes them from me by listening to me, like I say with the lot, is as quickly as he'll put it out there, before the end of the day. In fact, they could do it right now. In other words, they can transfer what you're doing right now, they can transfer it immediately over to somebody else. Which means either A, we're not something we thought we ever were taught, there's a whole lot of stuff left out, we might be humanoids, very unique. Okay, so Tracilyn wants to play different venues, and that's what a lot of this is about since I came out here. I don't want to play bar rooms. God's calling me into a rock and roll ministry, Joyce. Big band, a full band, maybe not huge, but a full band. I already know that I need a keyboard player, a drummer, bass player, lead guitar player, a rhythm guitar player would be nice. You know? Maybe 3 or 4 backup singers, percussionist. There you go. And we're gonna need to travel. We're gonna need to be able to, what? Get transportation, transport all these people to theaters. Gonna need the very best PA system, the very best lighting system, the very best sound man in the whole world. Why is that? Because it's for God, Joyce. The government, you're gonna find out, as I was getting ready to apply for a 501, it's therapy for me, Mr. President. I'm learning I might not be able to do that. And I'm saying that we better figure out another way that it happens then. Because I don't want to put my hard labor into somebody else's ministry. What do they do for me? What did David Ashcraft ever do for me? I walked up to him, he could have done the greatest thing in the world when I asked him, she wants to know what God is. David Ashcraft couldn't even give me a direct answer according to Scripture. He better be now, if not, sue him. Walk up to him and ask him who God is. If he doesn't know, then he should be shit-canned. We're going to be calling there soon. I want to talk to Matt Goss and ask him, the worship leader, at least he was, I want to ask him if his standpoint on gays are pretty much the same as they were back in the day when he had made a smirky comment to me about his brother being gay. Basically, that's why all the problems came through in their life. But he failed to mention about Scripture, where God says there is no male or female in heaven, which is in your head, Matt Goss. Did you know that? If you didn't, pick up your Bible and reread it. Okay, God's missionary really quick. When I came out here, we're going to change the subject from the theaters. I want to play nice theaters, family-oriented theaters. In my opinion, Disney should have picked me up. I should have been on Sesame Street, and we should have put together a nice show for the whole family. With my music. Why? I have to do something. It's in my mind. And nobody put it there? Well, I guess they did. Hold on a minute. The television set. That's what put it there. I'll sue the entire entertainment industry. They put it in my head. Tracilyn, you're funny. I know. I personally don't want to fight anyone. I don't want to sue anyone, but I think about it. I need a team of lawyers. I might even be able to own Trump Empire. Seriously, you think I'm kidding? We can always find reasons to sue people. We might even be able to find out that he's not really a president, which could end up getting what? Serious time. Lifetime. For impersonating something he's not. If that's true. See, I'm pretty intelligent, people. This is true. If somebody's faking a position that they're not really qualified for, well, they got to go through all this in-depth questioning and there's a history background check. Is that true? Did you ever personally do a background check on Trump? If you did a background check on anybody in this country, there's something on everyone. They try to make it go away, but it can always come back. That is a fact. I got prostitution charges on me. I had to work my ass off and go through a lot of stuff, and that's what we're talking about next. When I came out here, a blessing was that I did have to serve like 20 hours, I think, of community service. That's how I got in at the Wright B. Flyer Museum. One of the greatest experiences in my life. It instantly surrounded me with engineers and intelligence, inspiration. The scenery was beautiful. I love all those people at that Wright B. Flyer. that were there for me then. And even the ones that are there now, and they're remaining committed. I used to go back and walk out to the hangar door and stare out at the landing strip and dream. I'm a dreamer. I dreamed all the time. What I was doing is I wasn't just dreaming, I was using it's okay if you're a dreamer, visions. You'd see yourself differently or see life differently. Or maybe you'd see things you never noticed before. Open air space. Well, after that wonderful experience, or just before, I'd have to look back at my records. I also, or it was at the same time anyway, I also contributed some of my time to God's missionary, which was the gentleman, I call him Daddy. He's my spiritual daddy. And how that came about, if you really want to know, is the truth of the matter is, coming to Christ brought me back into my inner child. And my inner child was kind of reborn again. I was reborn again as an inner child. My inner child was shining through. And the person who took me in is the person that I adopted myself mentally as a father figure. I called him Daddy. And he's always going to be my daddy. Some people don't like that, they don't understand it. Well, it's not about sentimental reasons only. It has a lot to do with a lot of things that you will find in Scripture. And God lets you know God will adopt you in. He or she who is lost in the world, God will give you a new name and adopt you into God's family. Well, then I'm here to tell you, God, where is God's family and why aren't they cooperating with the greatest worship leader in rock and roll history? Right here. Now, why is that? Where are all God's people at? Why is everyone so stuck up and snooty? Well, they weren't here because one of his very, very close friends, in fact, they owned the house. I'm going to have a seat. I'm getting tired. Just sit on the ground. They had the Huber Heights house, which was my house. My name is written in it. So you know, if you go through the house, you could find my house, my name, Tracilyn. I signed it at several places. I'm not going to say where on camera. I like to mark stuff that means something to me. A good friend of mine, David, from Lafayette Street, he taught me that. He put little markings on his bicycle. He showed me how to do that. Things that he loved, his tools. All of his tools had a marking on it. In his shop. I miss our talks. He was very intelligent. He knew a lot about a lot. With that being said, the lady and her husband that owned the house in Huber Heights that Daddy was about ready to buy served over at God's Missionary here in Dayton, Ohio, which is on my other videos if you look back a little bit. And what I did there was I swept the floor, helped to straighten up, helped to set up food. In other words, I was kind of an assistant, and what they did, if I'm not mistaken, is they gave a church service. I guess the pastor spoke for like a half hour, an hour, and then after it was done, the church service was done, the people would come down, and they would get in line and walk around, and I would help to serve them. And can I tell you that I really, really enjoyed that. It felt good to be a part of something that I perceived as good. You're giving food to people who are hungry. It's my opportunity to love people, and I love to love people. And a lot of that comes from not having anybody in my life that I can directly love. I wanted to love my son. My son may never understand that, Donald Trump. Maybe the president who was at that time should have a personal meeting with my son and explain to him that maybe I'm not what he perceived I have been through the eyes of his other family members. Imagine a president sitting down with you and talking to you like a human being, a real tribal leader. Because that's what it used to be here, Indian ground, sacred. And tribal leaders would have personal meetings. They might not always come to you, but they would always be there for you to come to. I'm not saying that they lived the greatest either. We're all learning. The gentleman who got me there, my daddy, even though we started off our relationship the way it did, the rape. Can I tell you that God showed me inside, through my own eyes, in many ways, all the wonderful, beautiful things about our relationship and him. And can I tell you that I would not be here today at all if it wasn't for the love that he actually showed me, providing a roof over my head, even though he kicked me out a lot. Hold on, there's people coming. I want to change the battery too.